Hey guys, welcome back to PHP programming, and today's topic of discussion is object oriented programming using PHP. As we all know, OOP stands for object oriented programming. Instead of dealing with data and functions, because that is the program structure of procedural oriented programming. Object oriented programming recommends to encapsulate the data and the related functionalities together. It provides data security. It provides define once, call many times advantages. We can wrap the things in one container and faster and easier to execute, provides clear structure of programs. Don't repeat yourself, DIY, try, and many more features are there. As we all know, the striking features of OOP is encapsulations, inheritance, and polymorphism. PHP supports to these all features. You can construct a class with the private data, with a constructor, with the methods. We can create an object, give a call to the methods after initializing the object. We can create a child class to extend it. We can accept the data dynamically from the user and use class as a library. Every feature of object-oriented programming, what we learn in many object-oriented programming supportive languages like a C# or Java. So these are all fundamentals of object-oriented programming is applicable, or PHP supports rather, to this all the object-oriented programming features, and hence this programming language become more user-friendly. At the same times, it helps to develop the better code structure, better program structure. PHP supports to these all the features of a class, object, member variable, member function, inheritance, parent class, child class, polymorphism, overloading, data abstractions, encapsulations, constructor, destructor. As we all know, these are the features of any object-oriented programming paradigm. Object-oriented programming paradigm provides advantages over structured and procedural programming. And to avail that all the advantages, PHP have a role, and that is why PHP is more popular also. We can code by using object-oriented programming. Ideally, in case of PHP, you can build your own classes as an application logic and refer it into the controller page. So let us have a discussion on how we can use these object-oriented programming features of PHP in the coding. I created a project by the name of PHP OOP, and in my first code, as you know, I develop a class called as demo, right? because if you are planning to write an object-oriented programming, you have to build a class first. So class demo, and here I write a function add. So this add become a member function of this particular demo class, and there I write the process $x equals to 800, $y equals to 200, $sum equals to x plus y, and equal the sum. Means now the process of addition is encapsulated in a function, and this add function is not a global function now, it is wrapped in a demo class, right? So whenever we create the object of demo and call to this add function, then the entire process defined in the add is going to invoke, is going to get a call to. So this is the add procedure. In the similar manner, I define the subtract procedure, and this is the end of class, right? Then I create the object, $object equal to new demo. New is a operator which allocates dynamic memory. This is the call to the constructor. Now here there is no constructor definition, so this is the call to the default constructor, and object obj object will be created by giving a call to the default constructor, and then object will give a call to the method called as add, and object will give a call to the method called as subtract. Here call to default constructor. Default constructor is not supposed to be defined, and then call to add method, and this is the call to subtract. So in the demo class we wrote two methods by the name of, that is called as function member functions, add and subtract, and then we create the object by giving call to the default constructor and then refer to the method. Now here this hyphen and greater than is called as a reference operator, right? In Java we are using dot, but here in this case we are to use the refer operator. Object refers to its method, object refers to its functions of add and subtract, and the entire process which is defined in the add and subtract will get a call to, right? Let us check the execution. In the local host, my XAMPP server is on. I am writing OP1. Okay. Sum of given numbers is 1000 and subtraction of given number is 500. Okay. The 800 plus 200 equals to 1000, and 1000 minus 500, that is 500. Right. So in this manner, as we know, the logic is not of addition and subtraction, but how we can build an object-oriented code to avail that all the features and avail that all the facilities and the coding structure of object-oriented programming. Define a class, have a methods, and then create the object and then give a call to the methods. Let's go for the second program. Now here we have a class demo. I declared a variable by message with a default property welcome to, and we have a function called as test which will print Axiom Tech Guru Private Limited. Then we create the object, right, and then we print this default message object.message echo, so it will print welcome to, and whenever the object will give a call to the test, it will print welcome to Axiom Tech Guru Private Limited. Means here you can declare and initialize the data members of a class. Here message is a data member and test is a function. So here we create the object, right? We print the value of the variable and give a call to test event. Let us check it out, the result of, here it is, welcome to is a message, value of message, and Axiom Tech Guru Private Limited is actually this test function is going to echo that, right? Let's go for the next example. Now here in this example, now as I said, we have a class. Now class is a library is a data processing application logic written in that. So here we have a add, subtract that we discuss about. But now how it will get the data? So what I did over here, I create the object and get the dynamic data from the form. $get f, what it will do? It will get the data from the form. There are two methods, get and post. So $get and $post will get the data submitted from the form, right? So there is a difference between get and post. If you submit the data by using get, so that whatever data you are transmitting to the controller page, it is visible on the browser. So get is not much secure, and if you are passing it on the limited data, then get will be used. So I'll have a separate discussions between the $get and $post. But now here in this case we have a form. So whenever you run the code, right, so we have a form, enter first number, then input type equal to text, name equal to f. So that input type text has a name f and s, and the submit button over here. So whenever you click on the submit, so the data of this f and s, first and second, will be passed on to addition, and it will perform the addition over here. In the similar manner, when it will read the data of first and second number and perform the subtraction even. Is here I try to demonstrate how we can pass on the deal with the dynamic data. Dynamic data in the sense, we have a form, we fill the data, and the data goes to the controller page. Now here is the code of a controller, and then it will read the data from the form and give a call to the methods or the functions which are wrapped in a class, right? Let us test this. Now here initially, as we not process the event of is set, that is the event of button, so it will directly read the values. So the code will be executed from here, and it will no values are available over here, so that's why it is showing the error. But now if you read the data, let's say 12, 32, 12 and 32 are the first number and second number. Now if you show result, okay, now here look at here, as you are posting the data using get, $get, so that data is visible on the browser, right? And then here is the summation is 44 and subtraction is 20. We as a user, we can able to enter dynamic data, and on that data my application logic, which is written in the object-oriented programming standards, will be able to perform the addition and subtraction already. So what we did in this case, we develop a form, and which is having the two input fields, first number and second number, and the submit button. Once we perform the submit button, here we can write that it's set over here, so that like whenever the only button will be clicked, that time the code will be activated. But anyway, now the purpose is different. So here in this case, it will get the data, and then get data from the form, okay, from the field f and s, and then pass on this value to the add and subtract, and able to perform it. If you write here if it's set, then only when the button is hit, that time that code will be activated, and that and in this manner that at the time of loading, whenever you run the form, there was some certain exceptions that you can remove. So the motive is, okay, we can construct a demo class. We are having a functions of addition and subtractions, but now we are posting the dynamic data to that like a form will be displayed. We enter the data, submit it, and that dynamic values will be passed on to perform the addition and subtraction on it. Let's go for the next example. Now here in this case, class demo, first and second, here we define the constructor. Now what is constructor? Constructor is actually going to initialize the data belongs to the object. So whenever you are creating an object, now up till now the constructor you used, that was default constructor without any arguments. Now here in this case, if you want to construct a constructor with arguments, means at the time of object creation you want to pass on the values, then you can have a constructor definition over here. So for in PHP, constructor will be defined by function construct, right? And then dollar, these are the arguments, and by these arguments these values can be initialized. So this dot means that current object, this is the reference object. So this first equals to $a, this second equals to $b, means like at the time of object creation, whatever the values you pass on, that will be assigned to the first and second. And then there are the methods called as addition, okay, addition of these numbers over there. So now here again there is a form, first number, okay, second number, and the submit button. Now I am using a method called as $post. The difference between get and post means like in both the ways we can able to transmit the data to the from the request page to the controller page. $get will display the data on the browser what is transmitting, but $post will not. So post is more secure, safer. At the same time, it able to transmit larger volume of data from the request page to the response page. So hence post is mostly used, but in the limited data case, okay, if you want to have a like 1-2 fields data you want to post, that time get is also used. But get is an unsecure way of transmitting data from controller page to the request page to the controller page. So here in this case, we created dynamic objects and we are giving a call to the parameterized constructor. So the posted data of x and y will be passed on to it. So here it's a give a call to the parameterized constructor, and here the property belong to demo class first and second will be initialized, and then we can perform the additions, right? Let us test the result of it. Again the same here, if you write 12 and 32 and plus, then you'll get the summation of given number is 44, right? I told you why that error was there, because we are at the time of loading here we haven't developed a function instead, means when the submit button will be clicked, that time only that values can be read and posted, okay? But here we are not processing that particular event, and hence it was at the time of loading it was showing there is no values of x and y, and that's why the error is, right? But that's not the error, okay? So here we have a form. In last sessions we discussed that we have a request and response page can be in one page, okay? So we have the form also available, and we submit the data, and that submitted values will be posted as a parameterized argument to the constructor, and then we can perform the addition of them, right? So in this way we can define the constructor in PHP. Default constructor without any arguments, there is no need to. But if you want to initialize the object with the additional parameters given by the user, then that time you have to define the parameterized constructor in this manner, right? Now here is another example. I develop a class called as employee with the property name and profile. Here is the parameterized constructor. The data which will pass on, that is the name and the profile, okay, that will be initialized to the private data, and then it will echo the message welcome to Axiom Technology Private Limited. So whenever you create a dynamic object, that time dynamic object in the sense the values which you read or which you initialize at a time of runtime, and that values will be assigned to name and profile, and then it will print the message welcome to Axiom Technology Private Limited. and in the show method, okay, show method will print the name and the profile of that particular user, right? So here I am creating the first object dollar object equal to new employee. Your first employee is Miss Rizwan Farah, which is a tech lead. So it's a name. Her name is Miss Rizwan Farah, and her profile is a tech lead. And whenever I give a call to the show, right? So it will print her name, Miss Rizwan Farah. Your profile is so and so, right? And in the similar manner, I create another object by the new employee, Mr. Harshal, and he is a developer. If I give a call to the show, it will print a message. Mr. Harshal, your profile is developer. At the same time, here, whenever you create the object, okay, here the object will be created, so it will print a message, Ms. Rizwan Farah, tech lead, welcome to Axiom Tech Group Private Limited. That is first thing, because consider we are echoing the things, okay, by these values will be passed on as an argument, and by that the private data or the data belongs to the class will be initialized, and after that it will firstly initialize the values and print the message, welcome to Axiom Tech Group Private Limited. After that, show method is actually responsible for displaying the name and the profile of that particular developer, right? Let us check this out. Here it is. First of all, welcome to Axiom Tech Group Private Limited. Ms. Rizwan Farah, your profile is tech lead. Okay, welcome to Axiom Tech Group Private Limited, Mr. Harshal, your profile is developer. So means initially, whenever you create the object of object, then these values will be initialized, and whenever you call to the show method, okay, so first of all the message will be printed, welcome to Axiom Tech Group Private Limited, and then it will display the name and the profile of that particular user, right? Okay, now here is another example. I develop a class called as arithmetic, okay, with the first number and second number being initialized with 1000 and 500, and then like I define the methods add, subtract, multiply, divide, okay, and then I create the object of arithmetic and then give a call to the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It's like it's like this code give you the idea that okay, if you want to perform any process, okay, define that process and split into the means like everything can be wrapped in one container. Okay, so there is another example where we have a class arithmetics with a private data initialized. You can take the values dynamically, we already discussed, or you initialize the values and perform all the functionalities over there. So if you want to execute this, okay, you can simply move the 6. So with the default values, it will perform all the possible arithmetics related additions, subtractions, multiplication, division. Now here is another example of object-oriented programming. We are discussing object-oriented programming, so I'm trying to explain you many examples related to the OOP over there. Just need to understand one point. If you are an object-oriented programmer of a Java, object-oriented programmer of a C#, and you are already aware about the object-oriented programming, everything, what every feature, what you aware about the object-oriented programming, that all features about the inheritance, polymorphism, everything is explicitly you can code in the PHP as well. So class fruit, we have a name and color. There is a constructor which will take the dynamic values and initialize to the private data. This is the object reference we just recently discussed, and there is a get name method, okay, and there is a get color method. Now get name and is actually useful for printing the values of the name and color. So whenever you create the object, the values will be initialized of name and color, and whenever you give a call to the get name and get color, okay, it will print the values of that particular name and color. So apple equals to new fruit, apple and red. So the name of object become apple and the color become red, and whenever you give a call to the object.get name, it will print the name of the apple, name of the particular fruit. At the same time, it will get it color also, right? So in this manner, we can construct a class, we can wrap the properties, we can define the parameterized constructor, we can define the methods, and then we create the dynamic objects and give a call to the methods. This is what the initial feature of object-oriented programming means. Like whenever you want to write any process, you define the class, wrap all the properties, and define all the functionalities, and then create the object and then give a call to. So object-oriented programming having many advantages over the structured procedural programming. In structured procedural programming, we can deal with the data and the functions. Okay, so now in the object-oriented programming, we have to wrap that all the data and the functions together, define the constructor and the methods in one container, and then whenever you want to use it, create the object, and then by using the object, you can give a call to the methods and the functions, and you can able to process the data. So that all the features of bottom to top programming approach, define once, call many times, like data security and all features can be you can able to utilize, you can able to avail by writing a object oriented code over here. So let us go for the execution. Here it is. Apple is red. So I hope you will start coding object oriented way over here. As I said, okay, as a developer, we need to adopt enhanced programming architecture, and object-oriented programming architecture having these all the features. So what we have to do, okay, in the controller, after reading the data, if you can able to develop the API using PHP by object-oriented programming structure, where we define the class, where we encapsulate the private data or the data belong to the class, and the constructor and the methods, and then we create the object and pass on the values and process the data. That is what exactly program structure expected in the object-oriented PHP over there. Hope you enjoy these sessions. All the codes demo I'm going to demonstrate this in this session will be available in the comment sections. You can use it. You can practice it. Thank you.